We all know from the third movie that Hitomi was upset with Kyosuke due to her feeling like he was neglecting her, which resulted in Hitomi throwing a temper tantrum big enough to potentially cause the destruction of an entire city. Now, after Homura alters Sayaka's memories toward the end of the third movie, it's pretty obvious that based on her reaction to seeing Hitomi and Kyosuke together, that this version of Sayaka is similar, if not exactly the same as the version of Sayaka that existed prior to the end of the Madoka series. Meaning, this is the version of Sayaka who still has feelings for Kyosuke and does not want to see him with Hitomi. Now, this is just a theory as to how it could make logical sense for Hitomi to become a magical girl, but let's say that Kyosuke not spending enough time with Hitomi continues to happen, which could very well be the case if the third movie was any indication, and perhaps it was also foreshadowed there that this could continue to happen. This, of course, would result in Hitomi's frustration toward Kyosuke to grow, and this is precisely where Sayaka would come in. Now, despite the fact that Sayaka is clearly not happy about Hitomi and Kyosuke being together, it's made clear that Sayaka still considers Hitomi and Kyosuke to be her friends based on the interaction she has with them toward the end of Rebellion. And since she and Hitomi are friends, it would make sense that Hitomi would vent her feelings to Sayaka at some point and mention the issues she's having with Kyosuke not spending enough time with her. In fact, if you remember the scene in Rebellion where we see Hitomi crying and throwing a tantrum over Kyosuke, it was Sayaka who appeared in order to help calm her down. This scene could very well be a foreshadowing of future events. In any case, based on this, it makes sense why Hitomi would once again vent her feelings in Sayaka's presence, and Sayaka, despite not being happy with the situation of Hitomi and Kyosuke being together, would put her feelings aside in order to try to help her two friends. Let's say Sayaka confronts Kyosuke and the two of them begin to talk. Despite the circumstances, we still know that Sayaka likes him, and if the two are talking, then this could lead to a variety of different situations taking place. But the path I'm going to follow is one where Kyosuke just expresses to Sayaka that he has been busy and needs to practice and play the violin, and that he also has no clue Hitomi was even upset over anything. I mean, it makes sense why he would answer this way given what we know about him and his passion for the violin. I mean, heck, even Sayaka mentions in the third movie that Kyosuke was a pretty clueless guy. So given these factors, there's a decent chance Kyosuke would express his obliviousness to Sayaka, which would lead Sayaka to explaining things to him. Given the fact that these two are old childhood friends, and given the fact that deep down, despite the circumstances, Sayaka still has a crush on Kyosuke, it's very much possible that this conversation could lead to the both of them spending more time together. On Sayaka's end, it would be to try to help Kyosuke understand Hitomi's feelings more due to him being naturally clueless when it comes to girls and their feelings. So I can see Sayaka wanting to help improve his relationship with Hitomi, and also the hidden crush Sayaka has deep down might also play a factor in Sayaka's motivation to spend time with him, whether she realizes it or not. On Kyosuke's side, he would just see this situation as just talking with an old friend like it was no big deal. Now, the situation itself looks harmless on the surface, but if Sayaka and Kyosuke were to spend more and more time together, I can easily see Hitomi's frustration over the situation to increase to an extreme level. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a chance that things could improve when it comes to Kyosuke and Hitomi's relationship, but that would be boring, so I'm going to take the path that things get worse, and Kyosuke is spending even less time with Hitomi due to hanging out more with Sayaka, who is trying to help them in her own way. Hitomi could easily start to get jealous and suspicious of this because she expressed in the original series that she knew Sayaka had a crush on Kyosuke, and she may start to assume that Sayaka and Kyosuke spending time together implies that there's something going on between them. Now, this next part is speculation because in all honesty, we really don't know very much about Kyosuke and how he honestly feels about Hitomi. I mean, we can all assume that he likes her since it's implied that they are going out in the series. However, it's never really stated from Kyosuke's lips how he actually feels about Hitomi. In fact, during episode 8 when Sayaka is stalking Kyosuke and Hitomi, we are never able to hear the actual conversation between these two. And to be honest, even though it's obvious that Hitomi is confessing to Kyosuke, during the scene, we don't actually see Kyosuke blushing or jumping for joy upon this actually happening, which honestly can be interpreted in many different ways. Maybe he just never had any real interest in Hitomi to begin with, and was just cool with the idea of a girl confessing to him, so he decided to simply go along with it. This also can be connected to Kyosuke's lack of interest in spending time with Hitomi shown in movie 3. Now, I know some people could easily interpret Kyosuke's lack of interest in Hitomi to the fact that he is very passionate about the violin, but I still find it strange that so far we have not seen anything from Kyosuke that displays him having an actual interest in Hitomi at all within the series. Anyway, should a situation occur where Sayaka and Kyosuke are spending more time together, Hitomi's frustration would increase even though there's nothing going on between the two. But Hitomi may see it otherwise since Kyosuke is not spending enough time with her, and Hitomi could assume that there is something going on between the two, especially since she knows that they are childhood friends and that Sayaka has a crush on him. Needless to say, Hitomi could very well end up having lots of negative thoughts regarding these two, and it's at this point Kyubey would show up in front of Hitomi and take advantage of Hitomi's lack of understanding when it comes to magic and magical girls. Since, unlike the other girls in the series, Hitomi at this point is completely oblivious to everything. Now, the type of wish Hitomi makes could really be anything, but due to the frustration over the situation, I could see her getting overly emotional, which could result in her making a hasty decision in the form of a wish. I mean, if you pay attention to how Hitomi acted in the third movie when she was frustrated with Kyosuke and listen to what she says and what also happens afterwards, and in this situation, if you combine that stress she's feeling and apply Sayaka to the mix as well, with the potential chance of Kyosuke cheating on her, it makes sense that she might make an irrational decision at this point. And a version of Hitomi who has been pushed over the edge like this would make a wish along the lines of,
"If I had my way, it would all disappear.
I wish they would both disappear." Now, needless to say, if she also wishes for Sayaka to disappear as well, it would make things more complicated. So let's say that Hitomi only wishes for Kyosuke to disappear and becomes a magical girl as a result. Let's say Sayaka somehow catches wind of this happening, since I'm sure you can imagine how she would notice the boy she likes, who's a childhood friend, one day being gone and the two confront each other. Let's say Homura catches wind of this happening, since this would all be taking place in her fabricated world, and decides to approach Hitomi. Now, since Hitomi does not know anything about what happened in the past, it's doubtful Homura would try to do anything to Hitomi. I mean, what memories would she try to alter anyway? Also, before we continue, there's something I want to mention to you guys you may not know. There is a game that exists called Madoka Portable, which is basically focused on the original series of the anime. Within this game, we are introduced to various timelines within the series. Like, just imagine if one, even from the original anime, was changed, which would result in possibly everything else changing. That's basically what this game is about, and within this game there is a path that leads to Hitomi meeting and talking with Homura, and within this path it's revealed that Hitomi would potentially have some kind of feelings for Homura based on this.
お二人とも明美さんとお知り合いだったのですか？知り合いというか、昨日ちょっと会ってね。
文武両道にて才色兼備かと思いきやがっつり体育会系の青春労働。
そしてとっても美人で素敵な方ですわね。
そう美人だとは思うけど、私は強烈なキャラすぎて燃えないな。
燃えるとかではありませんけど、素敵な方だと思いますよ。
瞳って実はそっち系？
そんなことはちょっと興味はありますけど。でも美人って言ってくれたのは嬉しいわよ。ありがとう。
Now, the reason I brought this up is because the Madoka portable game, while it is a game, it's still considered accurate to the series in the sense that if something were to change at all within the anime from the original story, you know this accurately tells us what would happen in the anime as a result of this change. In any case, since it's implied within this game that Hitomi would have a crush on Homura should these two actually meet within the next movie. Under these circumstances, well, there's a lot that could happen. In any case, after Homura approaches Hitomi, she may ask Hitomi what happened and why she became a magical girl before deciding on her next course of action. Hitomi would explain everything regarding Kyosuke and Sayaka, and Homura, having heard this, would possibly find a way to use Hitomi's possible feelings of hatred towards Sayaka as a way to manipulate Hitomi to her side by consoling her like she did in the game. And if there was even a small bit of doubt in Hitomi's mind that she did anything wrong, Homura would convince her that she was in the right, in order to get Hitomi to join her side and also use her as a way to distract Sayaka should she get her memories back, since we know if this were to happen, there's a chance Sayaka could make a contract with Madoka, which would result in Madoka getting her memories back, and we know Homura does not want that. Actually, I feel like this really could happen, because when you think about the ending of the third movie, have you ever wondered why Homura altered Sayaka's memories and brought her back to the point in which she obviously had feelings toward Kyosuke when she resented seeing them together with Hitomi? I mean, she could have just altered her mind enough so she just simply forgot about the events that happened concerning Madoka and the others. But why did she alter Sayaka's memories to the point that she would still have those past feelings toward Kyosuke? This could also be a foreshadowing of sorts. I mean, if nothing else, it supports my theory more when you really think about it. In any case, I believe Homura would create a situation where at some point Sayaka would become aware of what Hitomi did and try to confront her for killing or making Kyosuke disappear. Hitomi would be angry and think she was trying to steal Kyosuke from her the whole time, which is the real reason he never spent enough time with her. Due to Homura's influence, she would become really corrupted as a result of jealousy and hatred towards Sayaka, which would lead to a fight between the two. I also think it's possible that the love that Hitomi has for Kyosuke would transmit to love for Homura, and she would gladly do her dirty work and become a completely loyal pawn to her. This could also deconstruct Hitomi and make her similar to Homura, since she also wanted to be with the girl she loved.